Hello guys, so I'm back with another episode. In this video, I'll be going through the deck which I used for this Hill Spirit challenge, and then hopefully it will help some of you guys get the wins as well. Alright, so I'm using this actually a double heart deck. Alright, so you can see that I'm using Barb Barrel over here, but on the video it shows arrows. Alright, so it's up to you whether you prefer arrows or Barbarian Barrel. But because I'm at a Firecracker deck, so I found it pretty irritating. That's why I went with the arrow. So we're gonna go in 2 times speed over here. So basically you're trying to build up your hearts. And the hearts are the ones that are gonna win you the game over here, because the goal of this, of course there might be better decks out there, but this deck is something that can actually piss off your opponent pretty well. I would say that RG, from this, when I played this guy, I was thinking that RG might also be a pretty good deck, because the Hill Spirits can get quite a good amount of heal on the RG, and if you don't have too many buildings, the RG can get quite a good amount of hits. Alright, so as you can see, we'll try to build up our hearts when we can. So in this matchup, he has Fireball, which is not the best for us, because that's when our Battle Healer, that's when our Magic Archer and our Zappies get less value, right? So now we know that he's playing RG, so we're gonna try to stack up our hearts. And that's when we try, once he goes Fireball on one of the troops, we'll try to get the other troops out. That's how we try to get some value, right? So we can see we take a lot of damage at the start. The key thing I think in this challenge is to have your log or your arrows or your barb barrel to take out those Hill Spirits that are healing the troops. Those that are like, if you're only fighting on one side, Hill Spirits on the left and on the other side are not gonna matter too much because they might cancel each other out. But if you let the Hill Spirit get good amount of heal on your opponent's attacking troops, then that's when you're gonna be in a big trouble. Because that's when they get a lot of damage, especially when they have a big massive troops over there and everything gets healed up. That's when you're gonna be in trouble. So basically you can see I basically have not done enough damage on this tower at all. And my tower is already pretty low, so this is when we try to go with the spam. So once he goes Fireball on something, we'll try to set up other stuff. And then we'll try to spam everything at the bridge, and then try to get a better healer behind the Giant Skelly. So that's also something very key in this deck, is to get your better healer behind your Giant Skelly. And then that's when all the Hill Spirits will jump up and heal up everything. Alright, so together with your hearts, your Giant Skelly and everything, it's just gonna prove too much for the opponent eventually, and somehow it's gonna break through. The log and arrows are key. You have to take out your opponent's Hill Spirit. So we can see this one most probably is gonna go pretty damn close, right? So we managed to get the first win. So I went undefeated in this challenge with this deck. Alright, so the next replay that I will share is against this one. Again, another very irritating win condition would be the Electro Dragon. Alright, so apart from RG, Firecrackers, Electro Dragon on... Because with my deck, I don't have a big spell, so if the Electro Dragon is on his side, which you will see in this matchup, it's gonna get pretty much a lot of value, because the Hill Spirit and his Battle Healer is gonna consistently heal it up. So if the Electro Dragon doesn't cross, that's when you can find yourself with a bit of a problem. So this might look like a Elixir Golem deck, but actually he's not playing any Elixir Golem at all. He's just relying on the Hill Spirits to get heals on every of his troops. So again, as always, against all matches, no matter what you're playing, you're trying to stack up your hearts, because your hearts and your Hill Spirits are the ones that are going to give you value. But his Electro Dragon, I must say, is pretty good at taking out all these hearts, but somehow towards the end, again, we're trying to overwhelm them with a double elixir or triple elixir. That's when you're gonna shine. So if he doesn't have a big spell, this is when it's different from the previous game. So the previous game had Fireball, this one he doesn't have any spell, so that's when we can stack up our troops. And then again, we'll try to get the Giant Skelly on the tower. If not, we'll try to split the hearts, or we can even split a single Zappy. So 2 to 1 Zappy split, and then just having Hill Spirits on the other side that the opponent's not defending is gonna do a lot of damage. So do not underestimate the amount of damage that Hill Spirits alone can do. So in this challenge, they spawn 2 Hill Spirits at the start, and then 4, and then 6. So at the end, when there are like 6 Hill Spirits, that's pretty a lot of damage just from the Hill Spirits jumping on the tower. So as you can see, we're trying to build up a big push, and then we get our Giant Skelly there, and then with a healer behind. Unfortunately, the Electro Dragon and everything else does a good job in cleaning up. So that is what we're trying to do in every single game. Get your Battle Healer behind your Giant Skeleton when you have quite a number of hearts being set up. And if you need, towards the end, you can go with the spell cycle with your arrows and your log. Okay, so as again you can see, I take a lot of damage on one side. And finally, the Giant Skelly gets in, we get the bomb here, and then basically we're just trying to spam him out. We'll try our best to defend on the left, because that's a good amount of troops coming in, so we have to sacrifice the Giant Skeleton here. But again, damage being done on the right. pretty close now. MA is trying to get some chip. Unfortunately, I don't get a bit here and there. And then it's most probably in spell range, because you have arrows and lock, so you can actually spell them out when it's getting close. So this is how I managed to survive with all this hearts and giant skeleton. Giant skeleton can be used pretty good defensively as well. Alright, I'll see you guys in my last replay. Alright, so the last replay I will be sharing is how can we overcome Sparky. So it doesn't look like we have too much against Sparky, right? So let's see how I'm gonna approach this. So the key, I think, against Sparky is at some point we'll try to get the Giant Skelly to tank for one hit, and then if your Zappies can get a lock on that Sparky, somehow it's gonna permanently stun the Sparky. If not, otherwise, it's always the same. We try to stack up our hearts. So Giant Skelly can be used to destroy the Sparky with the bomb. Okay, if not, the hearts are always the key. Hearts are always key in all matches. Wizards are also pretty powerful. If you guys want an off-meta deck, you could try like Wizard RG kind of a deck. Because wizards are pretty strong, if you don't have a spell to take it out, which is, in my case, we don't. Okay, Mini P.E.K.K.A. again, you see, in every single game, we can't wait long enough for double or triple elixir to count, because I'm basically always losing at the start, right? You can see all my towers are always low. So again, you gotta try to grind through the start, try to survive at the start, and then when double elixir hits, triple elixir hits, that's when you get your advantage with your Giant Skelly and your hearts and whatnot. So the bomb's gonna do a pretty decent job against the Sparky. That's when you just need to survive and grind out with your hearts and your battle healer. So again, that's the same. We're trying to set up our hearts. He goes with sort of a spell. So over here you see a Giant Skelly tanks for the Sparky, and then the Zappies managed to get a little reset, but the Giant pushes it away. But again on the right, look at that, the amount of damage just from Heal Spirits alone. Okay, so do not underestimate just a single troop or single buff when just a bunch of Heal Spirit. It's gonna heal it up pretty well. Alright, so I hope this you guys would try this deck out for the new Heal Spirit challenge and let me know how you do. If you guys have a better deck, also please feel free to let me know in the description below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.